All right. Time to get them started, y'all. All right, let's see here. Well, the thing is, sucky. Make this start there. Hey, boy. Those of us that enjoy sucky. Right. Good morning, my children of the sun. Welcome to the Open Eye. I'm your host, third eye optometrist, Patrice Gibbs, right here on WHGE 95.3 FM, the education advocacy station. Yes, indeed. We got a lot for you today. Been a lot going on this week. Yes, I know what the big topic is. That's been going around and what have you. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, and I'm going to wait for my co-host and intellectual surgeon Nsoromma to get in before we even get into it. Okay, into that aspect of our broadcast today. Okay, yep, I know it was the slap heard around the world, and believe me, there's been enough said about it that I really don't need to say a damn thing. Okay, but let me hit y'all to something. Keep your eyes open. Okay, if any of you ever follow me on Facebook, you know I tell you pay attention to details. There's levels to this thing. Sister locks in an African name don't make someone for us. Take a look around. Being qualified for a high-ranking position within a white supremacist, capitalist, imperialist state does not make someone for us. A seat at the table owned by someone else does not make someone for us. I thank Jardea for that. Yeah, buddy. You know, now what's being said there? Oh, you know. All skin folk are not your kin folk. We're gonna have some examples to that today too. But before I get into that, let me start with some history. I like to do that. Tell you about William Lambert. He was one of Detroit's wealthiest and most influential African Americans. Abolitionist and civil rights activist, William Lambert was born in Trenton, New Jersey in 1817, the son of a manumitted father. That means his father was a slave but had been freed, and a freeborn mother. As a young man, Lambert was educated by abolitionist Quakers. 23-year-old Lambert arrived in Detroit, Michigan in 1840 as a cabin boy on a steamboat and eventually started a profitable tailoring and dry cleaning business. Upon his death, Lambert left behind an estate estimated at $100,000. That was in 1890. That's probably a good $10 million now. Lambert was also a founder of the St. Matthew's Episcopal Church and served as one of its wardens. In Detroit, Lambert soon became active in the movement to secure suffrage for Black men of Michigan. He founded the Colored Vigilant Committee, Detroit's first civil rights organization. In 1843, Lambert helped to organize the first state convention of colored citizens in Michigan. He was subsequently elected chair of the convention and gave an address regarding the right to vote that was directed not only towards Black people, but also to the male citizens of the state. Lambert also worked to bring public education to Black children of Detroit. Lambert was a friend of radical abolitionist John Brown, and like the more militant abolitionist leader, Henry Highland Garnett, Lambert called for the slaves to rise up against their masters. At times, Lambert very publicly helped fugitive slaves escape to Windsor, Canada, was just across the Detroit River from the city of Detroit. Lambert's most famous incident occurred in 1847, when he had the owner of a fugitive slave robber, Robert Cromwell, thrown in jail so that Cromwell could escape to Canada by boat. Much of Lambert's abolitionist work, however, was done behind closed doors. Unlike the abolitionist movements which emerged in other northern states, African Americans were excluded from Detroit's anti-slavery society. And that's something. They were excluded by the white abolitionists from participating in the effort to freedom from slavery. Lambert later claimed to be the creator and president of the secret organization African American Mysteries, Order of the Men of Oppression. In 1885, 2 decades after the end of slavery, he shared his story with the Detroit Tribune and produced documents including a list of transported slaves and correspondence with John Brown, Lucretia Mott, Wendell Phillips, and William Lloyd Garrison, all well-known white abolitionists. Yeah, that's right. Hey, cousin Shavina, I see you in there. All right. The order kept few physical records, and outside of Lambert's and several other accounts, most of the evidence of his existence comes in the form of rumor and cryptic asides in the journals of white abolitionists. The order was nearly exclusively African American in composition. Only a few white men rose past its lowest degrees. Lambert created 3 degrees, including an initiation modeled after a slave's punishment. The order had secret words, writs, rites, and solemnities, all of which were designed to prevent the uninitiated from receiving the higher knowledge that came with ascension, practical information pertaining to the business of their efforts to help Black men and women escape out of the United States. Lambert claimed that in its heyday, the men of oppression transported 1,600 slaves to their freedom per year, moving people through their network of homes and barns from the Ohio River to Lake Erie in 10 days. Now that number may be an exaggeration. There's little doubt that this secret organization helped fugitive slaves flee to Canada. William Lambert died on April 28, 1890 at the age of 73. He was buried in Detroit's Elmwood Cemetery. Hell of a dude. Hell of a dude. You know, something that, like I said, we need to know about. Hey, Sherry, I see you, sister. Yeah, buddy. Let me get this in right quick, and we can go on with some more great information. Not reflect our emphasis. WHGE 95.3 FM, you are our sponsor, Development Center for Homeless Vets. Any content provided by OpenEye hosts, guests, or contributors are theirs and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, company, or individual. WHGE 95.3 FM, the OpenEye. Yes, indeed. What's up, brother Jardea? All right. Now, let me go here. Okay, why do we pay taxes? Okay, America was founded on the concept of taxation with representation. That's a problem. Yeah, it is. It's a problem. Because African Americans pay taxes and our representation in the government is sorely lacking. We pay taxes for services. We pay taxes for, yeah, I have to laugh when I say this one. Okay, for safety and protection of the state. Yeah. We pay taxes for roads to be built, for our schools to be kept up. Oh, Lord have mercy. That's a crazy. Yeah, especially considering what they're doing to our education. Now, I bring this up to give you an example of what taxation without representation looks like in America. For those of you that are foolish enough to believe that many of your elected officials are actually representing you, they're not. They're not. Okay. Check this out. And this is fairly recent. Okay. New York State officials have reached a deal to use $850 million in public funds, that means taxpayers' money, to help the Buffalo Bills build a new $1.4 billion stadium adjacent to its current home. It would be the largest taxpayer contribution ever for a pro football facility. Something I don't understand is, given the NFL any funding. You know, the NFL, I mean, they make billions of dollars and they don't pay taxes. They're listed. How many people knew that? The NFL is actually listed as a nonprofit that does not pay taxes. Billions of dollars coming in from TV rights, merchandise, and this, that, and the other. Okay. New York State, $850 million in public funds to the NFL. Now that sounds, you know, anyone that's paying attention, well, that just sounds crazy. You get this billionaire permeated industry, which is the NFL, taxpayers' money to make more money for them. That's not going to trickle down to the goddamn taxpayers. Now, it's worse than you think, because New York State's Governor Hochul, yeah, I don't know what party she's in. I want to say she's a Democrat, but I'm not sure. She might be a Republican. New York is a blue state. She proposed that New York State budget cut children and family services by $800 million. Let's get that all together now. They're going to give the NFL $850 million of taxpayers' money, but they're going to cut children and family services funding by $800 million. Basically, they're taking food out of people's, you know, off of people's plate to fund a billionaires club's member who wants a stadium in New York City. Oh, well, you know, this is an investment. Yeah, that's what it is. This is an investment. You know, I mean, this money is gonna come back. There's gonna be jobs. There's gonna be you know, a tax revenue. No, it's not. No, it's not. The owner of the Buffalo Bills, 71-year-old Terry Pagula, is a fossil fuel magnate worth $6 billion. Pay for your own goddamn stadium. Are you kidding me? So you're going to take food out of people's mouths to fund a billionaire's stadium. What the hell is going on? Jeez Louise. That's just sick, y'all. That is just sick. This is what these people are doing. Like I said, pay attention to detail. WHGE 95.3 FM. Over eye. Yeah, that's a wow, Sabina. That's a wild cut. Huh?
Oh, you ain't want to add on?
Nah, I'm not on there right now. What's good? Oh, this, that, and the other, bro. Yeah, we're getting started. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, here. We value sports entertainment to do anything to change it, or won't do anything to change it. Yes, indeed, Cynthia Price, it's some bullshit. Yeah, I can say that on Facebook Live. It's some bullshit. That's exactly what it is. That's real. Like I tell you, pay attention to detail. You keep something else. Okay, I'll go here first. All right. Got brother Nsoromma in the house getting things set up here. All right. Let him get set up, then I'll go back on the air live. Yes, indeed, Jardea. We value sports way too much. I don't give a damn about football. We did. On the way. All right. WHGE 95.3 FM. You are on the open eye. Learning a little something today, ain't you? Yeah, I know you are. That's right. Hey, welcome to the air, my partner in consciousness, Brother Nsoromma. What's up, Nsoromma? Get up, child.
Yeah,
all right.
What's
all
good,
right.
homie? What's good? What's
This,
good?
that, and the other thing.
Yo, yeah.
You know what? We're going to get something out the way right now.
What?
And so, because I don't want to spend a lot of time.
Hello, world.
I said I don't want to spend a lot of time.
Right.
On the Will Smith thing.
Oh man.
Because so many people talked about it. You know, and I'll just say a couple of things that I said earlier.
What's that?
That have been Cat Williams, Steve Harvey, or Jim Carrey. Will Smith wouldn't have ran up there and slapped them.
I mean, it's crazy, man, because it's like we either destroying ourselves, right, through, okay, all that work he did to get where he was to get, and all the people that believed in him, you know, to say that, okay, we'll handle situations different or whatever, you know, he ain't never really showed this side until now.
Right.
So if you handling your business all like that, all the way up into this point, and then throw it all away, I mean,
and for what?
But it ain't just him. It's the whole scene. Black. It was a black scene. You understand? So when you have a black scene, you got two. Chris handled it perfect.
Yes, he did.
I mean, he that's the way Will was supposed to be acting with Chris.
Right.
The boy that was, you know, dating his wife or whatever, he should have did that to him for disrespect. And that's where that's where the violence come in at anything right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And he was supposed to be his friend. I mean, all of that was just a mess, man. A real black mess.
Yes,
and they look at all black people like that sometimes. They categorize us from that type of stuff.
That's right.
You know what I'm
saying?
See,
the actions of one.
That's what had me so mad.
You know, the actions of one black person reflects on all of
us.
Because they had decided and they had made up this ideal that the action of one person, you know, is indicative of the pathology of all black people.
Right.
Okay. Will Smith, and I said this, and I know some sisters didn't like it, who were out there saying that he protected his woman. That's crap. Will Smith's problem was not Chris Rock. Will Smith's problem is his toxic, whorish, slutty ass wife who is nothing but a narcissistic hussy. Get rid of her, Will. Get rid of her.
I mean, it's just, you know, you have to think in all situations, you know what I mean? And that's just the bottom line, and especially us as black people, because we already have a title. We already have this bottom of the list of humanity thing going on against us. And you know, it's hard for us to climb out of that stigma of watch the black person or that you gotta be careful. You know, that's ignorant.
Yes, it is. You know. Now this is the last word on it for me. Okay. And I'm quoting Bishop Talbot Swan here. All right. Because you had a lot of white people say, you know, look at them black people, see? Well, y'all got a lot of nerve. I'm gonna tell you why. Y'all should keep your mouth shut about one slap at the Oscars, one, involving black people, while claiming that terrorists that broke into the U.S. Capitol, assaulted and murdered cops, and tried to hang the goddamn black president were patriotic. Get the hell out of here.
Hey, yo, that's another. It's cans of worms, man.
Yes,
that they just, and the media exploits that. They don't exploit WHGE giving back to the community. They don't exploit things that is of good and prosperity to our community. They always exploit the worstest of the worst. You know, show it on the media and all of that. Yo, but we need to get more good information out to us. Right. You know,
that's what
it's just that simple.
You know, and I tell you what, I noticed things. I took a notice of, you know, a lot of our people on there saying, well, you know, this is you know, a setback for people of color and people of color and people of color and people of color this and people. You know what? The problem that I have with the term people of color, thank you for giving me this quote, Jardea, brother, is that many people of color are more racist towards black people than white people are.
Yeah.
It is a harsh reality that a lot of people in our community simply don't want to accept. You know, I can remember when I was negotiating with another radio station, and I was going to have another co-host, and she told me to stop saying black, 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 black. Say people of color because it's more inclusive and what have you. Okay,
more inclusive.
Yeah, here's the thing about people of color. It excludes us. Wake up, sister. It excludes us because people of color includes swarthy dwarfs or little people and yellow polka dot purple people eaters who don't like black people.
They consider it, and people of color isn't about the color anymore through the legal law. It's about the LGBTQ, whatever. It's about a lot of organizations clamped onto our civil rights struggle, and they put in that with the rights that we went after for the black community, and they have nothing to do with this, but they trying to connect it. You know what I'm saying? To get, I don't get it. And then our so-called representatives that we voted into place go after that kind of thing and not, you know,
and not the rights of
our
people.
Right. I mean, we as a people have to like really put our foot down, go stand out in front of these buildings, go stand in front of the person's house that's representing, you know, I mean, you have to get gritty. You carry 50,000, 2,000, 5,000 people standing out in front of their house. You know, I mean, we gotta really put our foot down and make changes and bear arms.
Yeah.
You know, we have to do that. It's dangerous.
And I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why. I'm glad you said that, brother. Okay? Just, you know, see the way they do things is they make little tests and see how it's gonna flop. You know what I'm saying? So they'll do something in one state and see how that's gonna fly and see how people deal with it or if they accept it. For instance, in Washington State passed Senate Bill 5919, a bill that expands law enforcement's ability to use physical force. Okay? Inaka Herod, police practices in immigration counsel at the ACLU in Washington State, had the following statement. It's disappointing to see the Senate rush through a bill that will harm communities, particularly communities of Black people.
Yeah, they pass them bills so fast when it comes to, you know, when killing and hanging and beating Black kids and in our community, that it's ridiculous. I thought you was really supposed to take a vote on it and the people vote the bills in effect. They just sit behind the room, two people, you and I go, yo, I want to make a bill. Yo, white people can't eat eggs no more. You want to go with me?
We're gonna have to have a committee on that before we bring it to the Senate floor.
And then the Morris passed.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Now this legislature in Washington State had made a commitment to protect when it passed more than a dozen bills last year aimed at reform and accountability in policing. The effectiveness of those bills is indicated by data showing a 62% decrease in police killings since their enactment last year. They had a decrease because they enacted some right bills. By contrast, Senate Bill 5919 expands police powers and lowers the standard for when an officer can use physical force, authorizing officers to use physical force when they have little more than a hunch that someone was involved in wrongdoing. Let me break that down for you. Okay? What that means is, if they run on a Black person whom they already have criminalized in their mind, they can jump on them and beat the hell out of them, and it's okay.
How is that a law?
Yeah.
How?
Because we have taxation with no representation in the government, and because the police union pushed and paid off some politicians, okay, to vote this kind of crap in.
I mean, who sit around and go, okay, all of this stuff is going on. We need a law saying that we can bust them upside their head and hang them and beat them up whenever we think something going on. Let's put that in the law. Come on, man. I mean, this is the politicians that we're dealing with. Who thinks of this?
I'll tell you who thinks of this.
And that person don't they put their names in the law and they put this under that? That's who we need to attack.
That's who we need
to go after.
That's where,
and they be
and you know what? Check this out.
That's crazy.
Yeah, check this out. And this, I'm telling you this to the police. Okay, this does not actually benefit you.
Right.
Okay.
They putting the police in more danger.
That's right. So I don't want to hear police families talking about the thin blue line.
Right.
I don't want to hear police widows talking about how dangerous his job was because the politicians that you voted for that got up talking this tough crime crap, okay, have put your spouse in danger because he is in that blue uniform. That's what they've done, because people are not going to sit back and take this. They tried to do the right thing when they came forward and made peaceful protests in the street. And at first, the legislature took notice and they passed reform and accountability bills that made things better. But you got some white supremacists, especially within the police force, that said you are abusing our right to enforce the law by making us have accountability, which is the last goddamn thing.
Ooh. Yo, how messy is this? Now this is messy. I didn't know this. I just found this out.
Okay.
There was never a federal law in any type of sort for lynching.
Oh.
For lynching. There was no federal law saying it was bad to kill and lynch a human. Yo, man, that was, and then all this stuff going on in the world right now, right? They want to go, okay, well, let's give the black people something. Let's put a bill in and say that it's bad to have.
Yeah.
But then turn around and pass a bill saying cops can kill you and beat you upside your head. What?
Yeah.
That's why Russia says America is nothing but lies.
Yeah.
And they fighting among themselves now. The higher elite. That's what's going on.
Oh yeah.
And they got the button.
Not our fight.
They got control of this button. And if they decide to go, okay, boom, push the button, they really ain't gonna feel it because they got bunkers and stuff they can go into and hide in and live for 2-3 years and still have food.
That's right.
Everybody else that ain't thinking that it for ahead and can't afford to do that is going to starve and be either going to get people stuff violent. It's going to be chaos.
That's what it's going to be.
And that's
now let's talk about this lynching law. Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
Every time I hear that word, I want to go hard.
March 29th. Hey, thank you everybody for the birthday wishes.
Yeah, happy birthday to my boy. Matter of fact, you know what I'm saying? How old you was now?
31.
131. That's right.
Yeah, it's good. Yes, indeed. Well, March 29th was also the day that President Biden signed into law the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act. And he did it in the Rose Garden of the White House in Manhattan.
Right.
Okay. Now he signed this federal, this law, you know, that makes lynching a federal hate crime, and he acknowledged how racial violence has left a lasting scar on the nation, and asserting that these crimes are not a relic of a bygone era, but it's happening right now. Okay. Biden said lynching was pure terror to enforce the lie that not everyone belongs in America. Not everyone is created equal. Terror to systematically undermine hard-fought civil rights. Terror, not just in the dark of night, but in broad daylight. Innocent men, women, and children hung by nooses and trees, bodies burned and drowned and castrated. So what this bill does, okay, after, wait a minute, what was it? What? Now we got to remember that 4,743 people were lynched from 1882 to 1968. 3,446 of them were black. That means the vast majority of them were black. Okay, the rest who were white that were lynched, most of them were lynched for supporting the rights of black people.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Okay, so it was still about us. But what this bill does, strange fruit is no longer legal in America. And for those of you that don't know what I'm saying when I say strange fruit, okay, look up Billie Holiday and her song, Strange Fruit, which was about lynching, which really cost her life.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. After 200 tries, since 1904, I think it was, okay, the U.S. has finally passed a bill outlawing lynching. It's about damn time.
I ain't even saying booth on that.
I heard that. That's crazy. I heard that. Yeah, that's what.
That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, and this is a country. Well, wait a minute. This is a country that says black people are violent. Black people are violent. You know, let me tell you something. Okay? Tell you about the United States. The United States has produced 67.5% of all known serial killers. That's almost 7% of all known serial killers in the world. 70% damn near in one country, which means that the other 33% comes from the other 195 countries in the world. The United States has 3 times more serial killers per capita in the country, in the closest country, which is England. Okay, 195 countries. All right, actually, it's about 200 countries or whatever. All right, 70% of the serial killers are here. Okay, now it's really odd for white people to call everyone else violent when every time y'all have a bad day, America has to lock up schools and movie theaters. Y'all wiping out whole graduating classes just because. Just because. Not to mention, you guys are most likely to become the serial killers, especially if you're American. People ask black people that travel abroad, don't you feel unsafe traveling solo? Like I did when I was in the Air Force a lot of times. Don't you feel, a little unsafe traveling solo in these foreign countries and whatnot? Hell no.
Exactly.
I run around here in the streets of America. We got serial killers and mass murderers running around. And you think I'm scared to go somewhere else? That's just crazy. That's just crazy. No, I
ain't never been scared to go.
No, I ain't either.
But I've been smart about the places I go. Don't get it twisted.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Now, what that leads to is people catching their feelings, especially the mayonnaise brigade. Right? And don't think that I don't think that I dislike white people because they're white. I don't care that you age like spoiled milk and burn in the sun. I don't really give a damn about that. I don't like your behavior. Okay, that's what it's about.
They all ain't like that.
And they all ain't like that.
Okay, then. So you be talking to like you talking to them. Oh no. I know you don't care. You say you are, but
yeah,
still, that's not true.
No.
You understand
that. I understand
okay.
That. Right. But the thing is,
the snakes with Ali.
The snakes with Ali. And not enough of it.
You gotta see. This is what I mean. Okay. You understand? In perception, you get a lot of things in perception, but when it comes to the reality of a perception, right? It's you have to physically touch it to know, or to be able to understand.
Yes.
And that's all they're giving us is perception. Yeah. They're not giving us reality. They're giving us perception through Instagram, Facebook, and all these social medias that the kids don't even go outside and play football and basketball in the street. Yeah. They don't even exercise. You understand? So their perception of reality is only that. They don't even get out the house. They don't even want to come out the house. Yeah. How is that possible?
Well, because and it's the
I used to want to get out the house.
Yeah,
I needed the sun.
The last thing you wanted to hear.
I had to get the fresh air.
Yeah, you had to. Because the last thing you wanted to hear was you had to stay in.
Right. And that was the punishment.
That was the punishment.
Staying in the house.
Staying in the house.
I'm like, yo, that punishment is yo, go outside.
You open that door one more time, you coming in the stand.
Right.
You did not want to hear that. You did not want to hear that.
And now that same flip, you understand, has been done to the kids. And they're the generation that we need to grasp on and wake up.
And what have you. Yeah. And now you can mention that, I say all white people.
Right.
There are 2 things on that, all right? For those white people that get upset when they hear things about race and hear somebody say white people in general.
Right.
Okay. If that shoe don't fit your foot, why are you trying to push your foot into it? Because look, let me tell you something. I'm talking to those white people that say, go back to Africa. All right. And I got a little message for you. All right. For those white people that say, all you racist white people. Okay. I'm going to qualify it for you.
That sounds better. You
know what I'm saying? Yeah.
You're talking to a specific group. You know what I'm saying?
Now's a good time right now. because airplane fares are kind of low, okay? But let me tell you something. All you racist white people who want to see black people go back to Africa, now's your chance. Now's your chance, okay? Donate, GoFundMe, and kickstart my black ass back to Africa. That's right. That's right. Once and for all, for once and for all, white people, we can finally be out your face.
Get rid of them.
That's word.
Oh my God.
So move fast. Hurry up. The time is now. If you got the dime, then I got the time. Don't hesitate or be a cheapskate. Put your money where your goddamn mouth is. Okay? Don't talk about it. Be about it. Hit the link on my Facebook page and send my black ass back to Africa. That's send my black ass back to Africa now.com. Just open out like
WHGE 95.3 844-944-3953. Hit us up. Y'all ain't calling, y'all ain't talking to us for playing. Yeah, I got
That's what you cut off. Oh, it's all the way up. Yeah, it's all the way up. Yeah, it is. It's all right.
Yeah, yo, Jabbar, yo, Jar, what's good? All right, let me send my shout out. Cynthia, Tracy, what's happening? What's happening? Shabina, hey yo, Shabina, yo cuz, what's up? You the cuz? You the cuz? Yo, Marv, what's up, man? I ain't seen you in a minute neither. Jabbar, Macy, yo, Priscilla, what's good? Put my eyebrows down. You know, I always, yo, that's the ice cube, you know what I mean? Hey, yo, we supposed to go, I don't know what time, but I'll let you know. John, what's good? We got to link up and do a cut. You know what I'm saying? I see you. I'm watching you. Yeah. Yo, you gonna join us to go back to Africa? Go for this back. Hey, Vaughn, I'm telling you, hey, tell them to donate $50. Everybody in America that's white, donate $50 a piece. Oh, we're on the plane.
My city, Nsoromma.
Go get that.
Yes, indeed.
Streaming on platforms. NSOROMMA. Nsoromma. My city.
All right, all right. Yeah, I know some of y'all want me to go. I don't care. Hey, look. All right.
And to be, not because you all.
Go ahead.
And then you'll get all the money up, right?
Mm-hmm.
And get on a plane, go over there and land, and guess what?
There's a lot of white people over there.
No, they don't want you.
Ain't that something?
You too American.
Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Lord mercy, Lord mercy. But there are some Africans and a lot of them that are opening their arms to us, okay?
Yeah.
All right. Now, back to America.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. History teacher removed from class after hanging a black doll in the classroom.
Hanging? Yeah. Put a loose around a black doll.
You know how they had the screen that you pull down for the
she had it on that.
He had it on that string, right, by the neck. And what he said was, oh, nah, I found the doll on the floor in the classroom and I put it up there so people could see it in case they, somebody wanted to go ahead and claim it. Are you kidding me? You racist bastard.
Now listen, man. I think that should be a charge.
Yeah.
On some real legal stuff,
right.
I think that should be a charge.
That's what it should be.
That's simple.
Yep. Now it was a heated exchange that happened when the Black history teacher from another class come by the classroom and seen that hanging up there. And not only that, but this teacher that did it, who's a world history teacher. Oh my God, what are you allowing these children to learn from this fool? Okay, he took the black doll from a cord and hung it up, and he said, and the black teacher came and said, "What are you doing? That's crazy. Take that down. That's ignorant. That's racist.
Right.
He said, you're not going to stand. They had a back and forth. And one of the things he said, and this is important, he said, you're not going to come in here and make me uncomfortable. Why is that important? Because in Florida, if you make a white person uncomfortable, they could sue.
Nah, see, that uncomfortable should have been a right cross.
That's what it should have been.
It should have been an uppercut, a Mike Tyson or something.
Mm-hmm.
He said, some stuff don't go with me. If it comes out, you get in it. Don't do it in front of me. Don't do it by me. Don't do it around me. Or you going to get a real awakening. And it's going to be rude. You know what I'm saying? Because I get rude in them situations. Like,
I heard that.
I'm a Gemini, and I flip all the way to all the way over to that.
Hey, look, you know what? And I'm gonna tell you, and I know Nsoromma in this vein too. I'll go from zero to damn I'm going to jail. I need some bail money in 3 seconds.
Yeah, man, that's serious.
You know?
That's serious to me. You don't do that, man.
No, you don't. Now, the school's principal, who's black, Joyce Keller, said to the parents that this happened, and she indicated that, you know, he found the doll and just wanted students to see it. And when another teacher confronted him, they almost came to blows. Right. You know? And he should be removed from the school, and his teaching degree should be taken away. You know what I'm saying? That's what one of the students' parents did.
Now, tell me, do you think that situation is worse than Will smacking Chris in the face?
Well, you know what? I got something for that, okay? And this from my man Charles Robinson. When people wonder why young adults have a problem with being the bigger person and walking away from problems and confrontations, the person that behaves violently because of a perceived slight far too frequently seems to get the praise, okay, in some situations. Somebody's son or daughter is going to get shot this weekend over the exact behavior Will Smith exhibited on that stage that night.
Right.
Okay. Okay. But that still don't take away from the fact that, yes, that might have been a minor slight in the Will Smith thing. But when you got somebody displaying racism to the point where they're going to put up and hang a doll to remind you of lynching and to remind you what a racist bastard they are, yeah. And let me tell you something. Man. All right, and this go, I know this go for my man Nsoromma. I was taught to think, okay, before I act. So if I slapped the living crap out of you, I thought about it and I was confident about my decision. All right. Will Smith, you didn't think about it. You went up there and reacted to your wife's side eye or something.
Right. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like I said, which one do you think is the worst? Is Will Smith smack the worst, or the guy hanging that thing on the teacher hanging this thing up on the
black doll?
The black doll is worse. Okay,
of
now
course it is.
Why is no media on that? Right. But they gonna keep us so blind and so in the dark that they don't want to feel what you say?
Uncomfortable.
Yeah, you making me feel uncomfortable. You making me feel uncomfortable, right? But yet you made us feel uncomfortable. Period.
Beyond making someone uncomfortable, okay? What that is, that affects people psychologically, right? Because this fool knows what lynching is. So what he did was actually an act of terrorism.
Yeah, he old enough to have probably lynched somebody.
Or at least responsible.
Barbecue black people. I mean, them kids back then was going with their parents to these things. You see in them pictures, we supposed to be able to go back and what's that? Face recognition, them pictures, get them names,
and see who
all them people related
see who their descendants are.
Right. That's the lawyer. That's what the lawyers should be doing for the black people, putting in all groups civil suit. If you black, call this particular lawyer, and we're gonna get your name on this lawsuit type of thing. You don't see that.
That's where. Oh, and I gotta get to this. All right. Remember earlier I said all skin folk are not your kin folk, right? All right.
That's true.
And here's the silliness with that. Yeah. Okay. at Georgia State University, a black professor called the cops on 2 black students for being 2 minutes late. They came in, the door was open, they came in, sat down, started taking out the stuff to get ready to take notes and this, that, and the other, right? And this black professor said, no, get out my class, you're 2 minutes late. She ain't even started stuff, and you're gonna be so harsh to put them out. Well, they said, wait a minute. You know, we think you're a little over the top here. And I paid my tuition. So I paid to be here. So she said, okay, and she left the classroom and came back with 2 cops. And the cops stood over the students and took their stuff and said, you can't have your stuff back until you get out the class. Mm-hmm. All right.
No, I got twisted. Who called the student who got the cops?
No, the professor.
The professor.
Who is a black woman?
Okay, yeah. All right.
She went and called the cops. Now, what are you doing when you call the cops? You're calling a gun. So you're going to get these black students killed for some racist, crazy-ass cop for being 2 minutes late to your class. And then the president of Georgia State University said, oh, we have to look into this and see exactly. Are you nuts?
I mean, that's the unfairness is there.
Mm-hmm.
And we do it to ourselves a lot of the time. So that's what we have to get out of kicking ourselves down.
Right.
Yes,
indeed. We got to get out of that. We have got to get out of that and stop joining the ranks of the anti-blackness.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we've been so indoctrinated with beating ourselves up, fighting in this pit, and when you get out the pit and you become a success, you still want to beat people up that's trying to get out the pit.
That's right.
And you already out the pit. You trying to push people back in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
That's the mentality that we have.
See, that's what's called a sellout. That's a sellout.
That's crazy.
When you make it through the door, or you make it up the ladder out of the pit, like Nsoromma said, and instead of putting more rungs on the ladder, you pull the ladder up so can't nobody else climb up.
This is a big world.
Yeah.
I mean, it's enough on this planet for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
They ain't gonna tell you that because they trying to monopolize everything.
That's right.
When you can go out in your own backyard or in anybody's backyard and plant some seeds and grow tomatoes and vegetables and all of that, you can live.
Right.
You understand?
Right.
We don't need all of this stuff that they acting like we need.
No.
That's crazy, man.
And you know what? Anti-blackness, okay, it's the craziness because you have people that are quote-unquote black conservatives, all right, even black Democrats who basically support some of the things that Democrats do against black people, the bootlegs, all right? Very simply, anti-blackness is the mindset, the cognitive dissonance, the implicit biasms that white people live in, that we have been conditioned to believe is the parameter that black people must live in for white people to be comfortable. I don't give a damn about how comfortable you are. That is anti-blackness. So when white people see a black man come out of that parameter that they had put him in his entire life, white people have a problem with it. He's no longer fitting the character that white people have allowed him to play in their narrative. That's anti-blackness.
Mm-hmm.
Anti-blackness is expecting black people to sit and live compartmentalized to fit white people's fragility. Anti-blackness is not allowing black people to have space to be black without white people chiming in and critiquing it. Mind your goddamn business.
I missed that.
And you don't have to be outright racist to be anti-black. But how can you say that when you're living in the greatest country in the world?
Okay. Is it really?
Well, there's no evidence to support that.
Right.
We're 7th in literacy, 27th in math, 22nd in science, 49th in life expectancy. You know what?
Number one in racism.
Number one in racism. Okay? We only read the world in 3 categories, and that's number of people incarcerated,
Right.
number of people that are spiritually indoctrinated, okay, and how much money we spend on the military. That's it.
Wow.
You know? Now, I got to say something. Oh, I got it right here. For you sisters, okay? Oh, what I do with it? For you sisters that think that, you know, what I do with it? We got to get ready to get out of here.
Sabrina, you went and looked the story up? Oh, that's what's up.
That's what they do. Your research,
yeah, look that
that's
up.
Right. That's right.
Isn't that sickening?
Yeah. Yes, it is. As I say, do your research, do your research, do your research. And I've had a lot of sisters
What?
really come at me about feminism. Okay, I got it here. And I'm gonna get it because I want to get this in before we get out of here. Come on now. It was right in my notes now. Yeah. Because, you know, oh yeah, here we go. All right. Now, and this is from Dr. Clark, and big up, stay tuned, those of you on the air.
That's right.
Timeless Thomas, he's coming up.
Most definitely.
In Africa, the woman's place was not only with her family, she often ruled nations with unquestionable authority. Many African women were great militarists and on occasion led their armies into battle. The Africans had produced a civilization where men were secure enough to let women advance as far as their talent, royal lineage, and determination could take them. Okay? Equal pay for women was the norm in ancient Egypt and Canaan. While they were publicly viewed as inferior, Egyptian women had legal and financial independence, bought and sold property, served on juries, had the right to divorce and remarry. They typically didn't work outside the home. Excuse me.
Right.
But the ones who did usually earned equal pay for doing the same thing. And y'all got caught up with these white women with that women's lib crap.
Yeah.
Okay? And what is women's lib really about? Oh, it's about, you know, women's right to work, equal pay with men, the right to vote, etc. And this, that, and that. No, not really. See, the Rockefeller Foundation funded women's lib. They ain't paying for the propaganda. Why? 2 reasons. America was only taxing half the population. Too many housewives, stay-at-home moms. Another thing. So they could get the kids in school at an earlier age so the indoctrination could start early.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that's what that was about. Like I said, I know, and you know what, Nsoromma?
What?
I tell you something. I really do not like violence. I don't like putting my hands on people. I really don't. Okay? But I'm gonna tell you what, I don't fight fair. And I don't fight for free. Mm-hmm. And if I have to beat you up, I'm running them pockets. You can believe that. I'm gonna take your money. And I'm a sore loser. If you beat me up, I'm gonna have your ass locked up. And I'm suing you for medical expenses and emotional distress. That's how that works. All right. Hey, we can get out of here, Nsoromma. All right. And as we always tell you, destiny determines who enters your life, but you decide who stays.
Right.
Therefore, value those who value you, and don't treat those as a priority.
We treat you as an option.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, buddy. I'm Patrice Gibbs.
I'm Nsoromma.
Thanks for joining us on the Open Eye on WHGE 95.3 FM.
Yeah. Good job. Yo, thanks for tuning in, y'all. Y'all know what it is. Our time is up. You got timeless, get ready, come on. And then after that, you got make some intelligent noise with Sister Rock. And yo, WHGE 95.3, that's what it is. Yeah. Hey, yo, that was sweet though. What? Did it sound like it all? I rehearsed that. I was all freestyle. That was all freestyle just now. You know what I
mean? How y'all like that? Like Nsoromma said, thanks for joining in. I know, and thank you whoever said good show, Pat, brother Pat. Good show, brother Pat, and Nsoromma. All right. Yep, he on his way. All right. We getting out of here.